because it's something you don't think about. I mean, everybody wants the big hit. I want a 101. I want a $50 million card. Oh, wait, taxes.
It's a hobby.
Sure.
So if that's the guy that gets it, you're going into the 28% collectibles tax, which is scary.
And you're just celebrating. And then one day, the IRS said, hey, your bank told us you deposited $500,000. Where'd that come from? All right. This is a big one, folks. We are moving forward. We've got Jonny, also known as the sports card tax guy. If you're not thinking about what you're doing with your taxes, you're missing out. You're going to want to hear this episode. This guy's going to drop some seriously important stuff on us. We all need to know about it. Jonny, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, guys. Good to be here.
We appreciate you, man. I'm going to tell a quick story. Jonny's a sports card tax guy. He has found a niche. He's offering a service to people in the space. He is focused on the trading card space, and he's got a background that's pretty impressive. So we're going to get into it, have some conversations. But we found Jonny, or we saw Jonny at the National. We were trying to get some food after a very long day.
Yep.
And RJ said, hey, check that out. Not you, but the hat. And
it's important. I'm like, let's go tug on his shirt and be like, hey, what are you doing?
I'm telling you, man, because it's something you don't think about. I mean, everybody wants the big hit. I want a 101. I want a $50 million card. Oh, wait, taxes. It's critical. And that's where you come in and you offer a service that you're focused on the space. So we reached out to you and here you are. But let's real quick hit your background. You are not just a novice that said, I don't know, let's try sports cards. You grew up in the hobby, right? You're not just any CPA, accountant, tax guy, right? You're federally licensed, right?
An enrolled agent is a license, the highest credential from the IRS. So you can technically represent people in all states.
There you go.
But it's just a matter of your experience. EA, CPA, those are licensed. But yeah, there's a lot of CPAs that don't know how to handle.
Right, but you're coming to the table with an ace in your hand. You've got it all. You can represent people everywhere. So, if people are interested in talking to you and they're not where you're located, you can still help them out. Okay, perfect. All right, so tell us about the transition. You started the business, I think, recently, right? You started your focus on the sports cards recently, right?
Yeah, like with YouTube. Because, man, I spent hours and hours, and every day I listened to a couple hours of sports card podcasts. And I saw maybe twice a year, you'll get these tax sports card tax videos because it's trending. It's around April 15th.
Right.
And one of them just amazed me. You had very high engagement, a lot of comments and likes. And there was like 50 comments with no responses.
Ouch.
Yeah. Good questions people were asking.
Yeah.
And then you go to Reddit, Facebook groups and get responses, but what kind of responses, right?
Right. And who's responding, right?
Yeah.
Right. And you've seen, so you saw an opportunity, right? You said, hey, people need help. I'm an expert. I can help them. So you started this, the business. And again, you started this year, right? 2025 or at the end of last year?
The sports card side. Yeah. I had one sports card client and then a bunch of random HVAC law firms, et cetera.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like YouTube content. Honestly, I really want to just provide. There are a couple guys also servicing sports card businesses.
Sure.
But no one has made content in a regular way. So that part is something I'm, really wanting to keep doing and provide as a resource.
Yeah. I mean, your content's great. Again, jump in the show notes because, prepping for this, watching it, it's overwhelming what you don't know. When you start watching somebody like yourself that's an expert, and it's eye-opening what you don't know. And, you definitely need to protect yourself as you're entering this. So let's dive into it, dude. There's a billion questions we can ask you, but breaking, it's the hot thing. It's the sexy thing. It gets all the attention. What do you see in that space that's not going well that people could be doing better when it comes to the finances? I guess clearly that's what I'm talking about.
Well, this is inevitable and it's okay. My recent experience with Topps Chrome SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I entered the break a few days ago, and two of my spots had zero cards, so that kind of hurt.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You got
So
skunked.
that's okay. It's built in, and but that's something that not to change. But in terms of finances, it can go all over the board. I don't know where to start there.
Well, let's jump into tips. Like, you have a couple tips. Like, let's say I haven't broken. I'm intrigued by Whatnot. I can do this right out of the gate. What are some things before I even start that I should be prepping for or planning for when it comes to my income from Whatnot or Fanatics or wherever you're breaking?
Well, your income is all through a credit card processor. So you'll receive a 1099 if you make over 20,000. 2025, it's back up to 20K because Trump, that big beautiful bill, it was supposed to be going down to 600, but it's up to 20,000.
Okay.
Nevertheless, so that's an interesting thing. You have like a lot of people source at card shows, and you might withdraw 50,000. Some of the big. Now this is selling singles, but on Whatnot.
Right.
And now you have your cash purchases, which are just cash withdrawals. What would, if the IRS would ever look at that, what's to say you didn't pocket that cash? It's really important to have a backing and a log for those purchases.
Okay.
Sales are pretty easy because that's going to be reported right away. Everything's sold through the platform. So you have to really take care of your deductions.
Having a log. Okay, I took out 50K. I don't know who you're talking to, but you take out 50K, go to a card show, you make all your purchases for your Whatnot shows. You need to document that, what it's for, with the date, what you did with it. Do you need to get as detailed as the cards you bought?
The more detail, the better. But in reality, who has much time when you're quickly going across doing? So there's a reasonableness to it.
Okay.
I like to customize solutions for people with what works for them.
Okay.
But yeah, if it's just cash out, there should be something assigned to it.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
All right, well, say now Whatnot is going well. We're doing single shows like this, but I haven't really like formed a business yet, right? I'm not like an LLC or anything like that. What's that point or that dollar amount where I'm like, I need to take this action to find someone like you and to create like a structured business to make sure it's not just coming through me as a person, but like an entity?
Yeah. You are, the moment you make $1 and like you're trying to operate as a business, you are a business regardless of having an LLC or not. Some people wait a little too long, and in some ways it's okay. I had this one guy, he was 1.4 million in revenue, and he's a vendor, and he profited 200,000, which is, quite good. Mm-hmm. But he was running all this under his social security number. So he did not have an LLC set up. And that was okay because he actually had separate bank accounts. That's the main thing, is even if you are just operating, because no one knows at first if this will work out for you.
Right.
And he, but you should still exercise to keep separate bank accounts, no commingling as much as possible. And then he eventually did an LLC because we're going to convert to an S Corp, which is a little more for tax savings. But for breaking, your liability, that's why you start an LLC. People start it, I think, for one, it just feels official. And that's what you should do. I mean, if it helps you get, your official business, California is like $800 a year for an LLC. Florida is $125. So if you're really small, sometimes getting an LLC right away might be a large expense.
Yeah.
And if you are breaking, so you're buying wax and you're selling on Whatnot, to me, there's more liability risk when you're, if you pull a big card and it gets slightly damaged, then that person can come after your personal assets. So that's the value of the LLC.
Okay, so it protects your personal assets if somebody comes back and tries to get you for whatever it is that you ship them. Okay, so RJ kind of hit it. One of my questions was, well, what qualifies as a business in the eyes of the IRS? So what's that point? I think RJ kind of hit it. You answered it, but what qualifies the moment you start operating as a business, meaning getting on and selling something? That's it.
It could be before you're an LLC. Some people are quick, which is great. Right from the beginning, they get their LLC and even a sales tax certificate, EIN number, and they're rolling.
Yeah.
But often people are a business, but you don't have the LLC yet.
Okay.
You do have to consider, are you a hobby or are you a business?
What mistakes are you seeing the most? When people come to you, like, let's say I called you tomorrow, we walk through my business, wherever that may be. What mistakes from the trading card space do you see the most?
Yeah, things that people are not aware are, one thing is self-employment taxes. So this is a big surprise. When you have this as a side hustle, you are used to a W-2 job where your taxes are taken out. And so there's Social Security and Medicare. That's 7.65% that you as an employee are paying for your future,
Right.
potential
Yeah.
Social Security. And then the employer that hired you is also paying a 7.65% to the government.
Okay.
So what people don't realize, even as a side hustle, you are the employer and the employee of your single operation. And so of all the profit that you make or report, you would pay 15.3%, both the employee and employer portion, as self-employment tax. That's different than income tax. And income tax starts at 10%, 10, 12, 22%.
Yeah.
And so if your W-2 job is bumping you into the 22 percentile, that means the additional profit that you're making is all income tax at 22%. And every dollar you make is 15% self-employment tax. So that's 37%. That could be a big surprise.
Yeah, that would sting. And I'm going to be honest, RJ, when he started talking that last time, I actually looked down to start taking notes. Because
I've been down that road. So I own my own marketing business, and in the very start of that too, you realize very quickly it's set up differently, really. Like you're like, oh, I'm paying all this right now. I'm doing all this. Now I got to hold all this money back. And it's not like you get this lump sum of money and you're like, we have all that money. No, it's, you gotta hold back first or you can get in trouble pretty quick.
Yeah, it's especially challenging in sports cards because you need capital. It's such a cash intensive business. And so what's recommended is going along with what's required by sole proprietors, LLCs, disregarded entities. You have estimated quarterly tax payments. So every 4 months, roughly, you would prepay your self-employment, your estimated taxes, as opposed to the government taking it out of your paycheck. And if you don't prepay, then there's some penalties and interest. So what you do is you would have some kind of measure every month where you can shift aside some income to plan for it and have it in a savings account. And at the end of those 3 months, you just ship it away. Or what if a big deal comes up? Then it's going to be up to you. Like you can maybe just make an IOU. Maybe you save $5,000 to pay for taxes, but just remember there's an IOU. Use that to pay. Then you just have to know you might pay a little interest and then try to pay it back as soon as possible. So you have some, you want to do what's best for your business, but just don't forget about the accumulation of interest and penalty.
Yeah. And I'm just going to say it again real quick. Look in the show notes and connect with this guy. Because you need an expert for this stuff. And you're the guy to do it. It's complicated. And there's a lot to it. Let me ask you, card shops, breakers, people that you're working with, if run correctly, are these profitable businesses from your perspective?
Yeah, there's a lot of expenses. It is true. We're not dealing with a service business that has 60% net profit margin. Right away, a number of guys have 25% gross margin. So you have gross is going to be sales minus your cost of goods, and then net is cost your gross profit minus operating expenses.
Right.
Now with a card shop, rent, payroll, travel, supplies. So yeah, they're profitable, but
not to the
certainly
level
can
of
be
a service business. I mean, the
Yeah.
margins are not there. Yeah. Yeah. That's so when you talk about for a breaker, all the shipping labels, the
The top loaders,
all that
sleeves,
stuff.
like,
I mean, I think what you said at the beginning of the show is huge. Start an Excel spreadsheet and document everything, right? And have it inventoried out, or however the word is. I paid all of this for my supplies, and then meet with somebody like you to put yourself in the best position possible, right? How are the top performers in the trading card space structuring themselves? You mentioned S corps earlier, LLCs. How are they structuring themselves? The ones that you see that are the most successful?
Yeah, it's S corporation. So this is also one mistake I had mentioned earlier. When you have a legacy accountant, this lady was 20 years the accountant for this person, this guy that recently started his sports card business and wasn't very proactive. And now he had a 200,000 profit where he could have saved almost 10,000 in taxes, just merely by switching his entity to an S corporation. And so normally you would want to make that switch now. There's all kinds of perspectives,
Okay.
but for me, it's going to be around 50,000 profit and some, you see like there's some gradual growth.
Okay.
That would be a good time to switch. And there's a whole process for that. That's when you'll start feeling the benefits. And then I guess there are some unicorns. You have some giant, breaking companies, and some might make sense for a C corporation.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, you got to be like $1 million profit for that point.
All right. So go to the show notes, find this guy because you need his expertise. I'm not kidding, man. I'm trying. My goodness, there's so much to it that you're not thinking about. And I, as you're talking, I'm thinking, we've got our next guest is actually the head of collectibles for Whatnot. And I was reading an article that he was in, and I think it's 1 out of 10, it may be 2 out of 10 people on Whatnot, just Whatnot, that's their full-time job. They're that successful. So
nice. Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's not just trading cards. People are selling clothes, shoes, whatever. It's expanding. It's an awesome platform for entrepreneurs, but man, how many of those people know these implications? They're getting on, they're crushing it. And, they're not thinking through some of these things, and they got to protect themselves and their family because you don't know what's coming around the corner. And I hope it's just growth. But man, there's so many different things you can do to position yourself for comfort and safety.
You can get in trouble pretty quickly too, because when you're done selling and you hit that tier, right, you can cash out right away. And whether it's just cash to the account, and you're like, all right, we're good to go. But you once going to have to realize implications down the road later, which is something a lot of people don't really plan for. So
yeah. I mean, you're enjoying the juice. You're enjoying. I hit a Caitlin Clark 101. I hit a whomever Aaron Judge 101. I've got money coming. I'm hitting it big, and you're just celebrating. And then one day, the IRS said, "Hey, your bank told us you deposited $500,000. Where'd that come from?"
So I guess on that question, right?
Yeah.
If you hit that 101 or that really high end card, like the Paul Skeens patch where it's going to sell for $1 million, and you haven't sold it yet, but you've got the memorabilia piece, right? Is there implications that way of like, hey, I've got this in a break and I own this as a possession? Or is it still when the item is sold and you actually, pull in the profits from that? Is there any implications from holding it versus just waiting or pushing through the sale at the moment?
Yeah, a guy DM'd me on Instagram. Said he hit a card that sold for 100,000. It's pretty. It was like a $30 slot on
That's
Whatnot.
awesome.
So one of those stories. Yeah, imagine those happening, and
that's all I can do because it doesn't happen to me.
he has a business, But then, so that makes it easier because you could just roll that into your business operations. And whether you get the card or not, the sale, well, it gets triggered when you sell it. So that's when you realize the gain of that profit.
Yeah.
That would be business income, which is more beneficial because now you can take a trip to San Diego and go to a card shop.
Go on.
Market research.
So
Full circle.
You know, as a way to reduce some of that profit, or you can buy more inventory, or you can do certain strategies by the end of the year. Which, by the way, maybe later, there's all kinds of like pay your kids. There's
I was
retirement.
gonna ask about that.
You know, that kind of stuff is important too. But I would say if that person hit the card and they're just a normal, I mean, we do need many people that still love and enjoy collecting, just not to make a profit, just they like collecting and it's a hobby.
Sure.
So if that's the guy that gets it, you're going into the 28% collectibles tax, which is scary.
We're at the point now where I'm going to do a couple different things here. Okay. We're going to get weird. Okay.
Okay.
What am I not asking you? So you're the expert, and it's clearly an exceedingly complicated thing. That's why you're licensed and you have to go through an extensive, not background, but extensive training to get licensed. You probably have to do upkeep every year on that, learn all the new laws, because I'm sure that's complicated. So let's boil this down to Matt. Understand. What am I not asking you that collectors need to know? Give that to us, man.
Okay, this is good. I mean, one person, he got a 1099 from eBay, and he was just selling on the side, not as a business.
Yeah.
So he got the threshold, and he paid tax on all, like the full amount that the 1099 was.
Yep.
He should have reduced it by the cost, but he just way overpaid. So you want to know.
Yeah. Because he didn't talk to somebody like you. I mean, that's not a joke. I mean, I'm being serious. You've got to talk to an expert.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess if you get that in the mail and you're just like, oh man, I guess I have to just pay tax on all this. So that's true. You could reduce your cost basis though. Don't pay all, on your sales.
Right.
On your profit.
But I need to talk to somebody like you to figure out how to do that. Unless, I mean, I'm sure you could Google it. But I mean, you want to protect yourself and talk to an expert. All right, let's go to the other side. The profit hunters, if you will, whatever we want to call them, the folks that are on Whatnot looking to side hustle, get that, buy it for 100 and sell it for 1,000. What am I not asking you from their perspective? Somebody that's listening is like, I'm doing this. I'm making $1,000 a week. What are they not thinking about? And I'm not asking you that they should be aware of and think through.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed with YouTube over the last couple of months. I've been getting quite a few people reach out that are just starting in 2025. They started their little side business, and it's been really enjoyable speaking to them. For those people, I would say, just in a business sense, it's good to consider your business model. How do you think you would like to make money? Will you be looking for raw cards to grade? Are you hoping to go on Whatnot? That means you need a lot of inventory. Are you going to travel to vending shows? So it could be a combination of all those things, but that'll help your strategy if you have a sense of how you're going to be selling. And then I would say you should, as quickly as possible, separate your personal and business funds.
Yeah.
Because initially people don't think of themselves as a business. It's just a side hustle, and you can just keep it. But right away, the IRS says you're operating as a business. If you want those operating expenses to deduct it, then to be a business, you have to separate your account. It needs
to be clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any tips for those folks on the conversation with their spouse? No, I need to have my own account too. I mean, how do you work through that? And for real, I mean, it sounds kind of funny, but I mean, it's a necessary part of what they're doing, whether it's a hobby or they're trying to establish a foothold on Whatnot fanatics. I mean, it's just the nature of the of doing business, right? You got to have that separate account to protect all the other assets.
Yeah. I mean, I would just get an LLC, and then you have to apply for an EIN number. And that with the EIN, you can open up a bank account. You can just open up something like I have PNC, I've used Chase, just something that works in your workflow. And then open up a credit card. I love Chase. I've gotten many credit card points, and that's a benefit of like a high turnover business. If you're not doing cash, you can rack up credit card points. And one thing there is, so the business credit card I got, it's like $750 bonus if you spend a certain amount. And one tax thing is you can use those business credit card points or miles for personal travel. So you want to try to not use your business credit card points or travel miles for going to the national. You want to charge that, so it's an expense. But if you use the points, then that's typically there are some stipulation, but yeah, you could use that for personal things. That's a nice, use business expenses. So that might help your significant other. We're getting these bonuses here, but you just from the beginning, it's a business LLC. We have a separate business, and then check in on it.
As you guys were talking, I'm thinking, and I'm like, our job today was to introduce the world, our audience, to Jonny, because it is complicated.
Yeah.
And it's not something you want to mess around with. And we're certainly not going to just solve all the problems in a short podcast. I mean, we love talking to you, and I promise you it's not going to be the last time we have you on the show, of course, unless you say no. But I think it's important to talk about this, but I think people are going to get the value by going to your channels and paying attention. But we have some time, so we're going to do some things. I've got some rapid fire questions. We've hit some of them, but I want to have you answer. We're going to hit them real fast because I think maybe you'll answer them a little differently. You're not going to change them. But before we do that, you went to the national, and I love this. First of all, you started your business this year, and you're like, I'm going to the Super Bowl of the hobby and telling the world about what I do, because that's where they're all at. You've got trading cards of your own. Can you show us those and tell us what they're about? Because I think this is brilliant, what you've done. And RJ hasn't seen these yet. I was fortunate enough to see them earlier. Go ahead, man.
Thank you. These are the tax packs.
Okay.
And got the odds on the back of what you can
look
pull.
at that. But hold on now, because he's showing you the odds of what you can pull, and he's going to explain, like, it's not just a one-on-one. Like, let's do this, man.
So inside, these are the cards inside. There are 3 cards in a pack. The first 2 are the same. And then the third card is your hit. But there's like 4 different options. So the first card is just like a business card, basically.
Yep.
And you can tell what Topps year this is.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant, dude.
The 1985. So yeah, this is a discovery call. So I would say, like, my primary thing I will offer to people is a free discovery call. So 30 minutes just to, mostly I just learn more about what they're doing. And then if they're a fit, I would offer a service. A service I've been doing a lot recently is a setup and consultation. Okay. And then if I don't think they're a fit, I'll just give them some tips, and like, maybe later on might want, some more help. But
yeah,
so that's the discovery call. And then the third card, this is the common. Most packs have this in ebook, so it's 8 chapters, called the Sports Card Tax Playbook.
Okay.
And then these are all what do you call?
It's a damn refractor, man. Look at that.
So this is pre-production. The other one, they're actually numbered. So there's number. Yes, this one's numbered to 10. The tax planning session. Numbered to 10. And then this is numbered to 5.
Look
personal
at that.
Tax return. Wow. And then this is the numbered to 1.
There's look at that. The McGuire. I love it, man. So real quick on the out of 5, So you get the free discovery call, which I think is brilliant. If you didn't hear that free discovery call with an expert, I mean, if you're blowing up in the hobby, you got to talk to this dude. And then what do you get for the 5? The out of 5, what was that again?
That's a free tax return. I'll file your tax return for free.
That's awesome.
If you get
That's
it.
crazy.
The value there.
The value right
My
there.
God.
Where do I get these packs from? Am I just like everyone if you had a show?
RJ and
Like,
Argo. How we get it? Okay, and then the one of one is full service. Like, what is this?
Yeah, that's a personal tax return. I'll file your personal tax return for the 5. I'll do personal, like if you have an S corporation, business.
Okay.
Tax planning. Yeah.
Okay, and this isn't a joke because RJ just asked it and we were laughing. But where do you get these?
Yeah, my website, sportscardtaxguide.com, and then /tax-pack.
Don't worry about it. It'll be in the show notes. So we'll talk and I will make sure that everything is there because people are going to be running to the comments because, I mean, we're not going to solve this or educate the masses down to, I mean, hell, I'm going to call you for tax help now. Yeah. Yep. Hey, by the way, what was your reception? I mean, I know you said there's other folks in the space, but so you're at the National. What was the reception? Were people like, I never thought of that? Or how was the reception to what you're offering? Because I know you said you walked around with those packs and, giving them out, obviously doing the same thing we were doing is introducing yourself to everybody. What was the reception at the National for what you're offering?
I mean, everyone's busy at the National. But in the last couple months on YouTube, I've been getting more people reaching out.
Yeah,
So,
good, man.
mm-hmm.
Well, I love what you're doing. I think I definitely want to keep this relationship and have you back on. All right, I got some questions, and who knows, this might fall flat, and I edit the hell out of this. But rapid fire, so just fire back at me. If I lose money, I don't have to report
it. You don't have to. You should. Yeah.
Okay.
You
all right.
Money.
I can write off my grading fees. So I sent 500 cards to PSA, and it cost me how much? Probably
It's
$2,000.
like 22 now.
Whatever. Cost me that much money. Can I write that off?
As a collector, you're applying that cost per each card basis.
Okay.
And then as a business,
I got one.
It's easier to just write it off. Yeah.
Okay.
I got one. My
All right.
rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
You talked like stocks earlier. So at the end, sometimes of a year, people will sell stocks that are at a loss, right? To kind of help reduce that on their taxes. If I'm at a card that I know is now at a loss, should I look to purge that and take that loss and then use that as a write-off?
Yeah. You can wash.
We need a notebook next time.
Let me get Volpies out.
eBay automatically handles my taxes.
Sales tax. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Not your other.
Not the rest of your taxes. Okay. And then we've discussed this at length. I can deduct my card show travel.
Yeah. If that was your primary purpose was to source, network, do business, and you were there primarily most of the time, most of the days were there, then yes.
All right.
And that's also food as well. Travel while you're traveling, your meals are deductible. Your hotel, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. So, okay. Well, I got to tell you, man, my mind hurts right now. But I'm serious. This is awesome. I love what you're doing. I really hope everybody that's listening, it goes to listen to your YouTube channel, wherever you're at, listen to them. Show notes are down there. But, man, it's like, and I'll speak for myself, RJ. 6th grader talking to the professor here because, my God, I thought we could, move the needle a little bit and I would understand, but it's complicated, man. It's a complicated thing. You need experts like you. So contact Jonny. Yeah. Go to his website, get your hand on some cards. Maybe you'll get a free session out of it, man.
So what's coming up next for you? Anything? Are you trying to go to more shows or are you just trying to put out more content? Do you have a schedule that you're like, I'm trying to put out a video or answer questions weekly? What's on the horizon for you?
Yeah, I really believe in content. Every week I'm supposed to record one right after this. So that I'm excited about.
Right on, man. Love it. Well, can't thank you enough for the education. Again, you'll probably get hang up and say, my God, those guys What a hot mess, because I thought we'd hit this. But anyway, very valuable. Love what you're doing. Appreciate everything you're doing for the hobby and for people and keeping them straight. Hell, we maybe end up being clients, you know. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But Jonny, appreciate you, man. And I look forward to having you on again, man.
Thank you.